automatically send out an alert to you.
Are we going to put a link on the top of our audio room letting people know to download the
Yes.
radio app? We should
Yes.
probably do that now.
Yes. Yes. I'm doing it right now. We had it the other day. For sure. Of course, we want to do that.
So, Cali girl, I wanted to ask you, what's the price on that? And that's every day. They do it for the month. They do it for, I mean,
Uh,
weekly.
he suggests that everybody contacts him for the pricings because everybody's drops may be different and may entail
Yeah.
different things. So, I, Millie had mentioned, that she has people available for drops and stuff. So, um, I talked to her about that yesterday, and I was like, "Well, what's up?" Just got proactive with it and got it done. So, yeah, you can DM Millie, and she can give you the information, and then you can contact him, and you can talk about your prices and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's acapello, the D general. Y'all know acapello. Just send
Okay.
him a message. I'll
Got
let him
you.
know that everybody is, going to reach out to him. I was trying to also use Trelly. I've sent her my information. Listen, I'm trying to get people paid. If they don't want to jump on it, that's on them. But acapella, you know, quick
Let
with
me
it.
tell
So
you, I sent him his fee on Cash App. He got it. He stayed on the phone with me the whole time. I told him, okay, I'm about to go over to my desk. Excuse me, over to my desk, loop my stuff, get it ready. He was like, okay, got back at me, let me know when he did. He's very how can I say, attentive, I guess you could say. So yeah, definitely impressed by his service that he provided. So yeah.
Cali girl, I just
you
wanted to
happy?
tap
You
in.
happy with it? Oh, sorry. Go ahead,
Millie,
Kimmy.
uh, he is about he's very professional. He did a
Very
song with us
professional.
for Johan's her book opening party. He put all our names on it or whatever. So I know he has that. So I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do and how I want to do it. And are we all gonna use him? I don't think that's gonna be a good idea because it needs to be different. So I have a couple of other people in mind, but I definitely want to use him. But I think we should have him because his voice is very distinctive. So what?
Well, I
I
use
mean, I
my
was gonna
own
call
voice,
him.
so
I
I
I
definitely
was
think that's a good idea. I know I'm going to use him and I'm going to use somebody else.
Me too.
But yeah, I think you should use different people.
I feel you.
I,
I
I'm gonna
agree.
use him because I'm familiar with him and he's familiar with my brand. So I definitely like the idea. And Kelly, definitely like send me, text me the information so I can get on.
Just DM him,
It's six
because he
forty, guys.
responded right away.
I'm going to go ahead and send him a message now. So Techie, Kimmy, I'll just tell him. Oh, he just sent me a message too. Okay. All right. So who are we waiting for? AG, what's up?
We're
We just
live.
waiting for
In
the
effect,
people.
you're now tuned into the one and only AG with the smooth groove.
Not the
Not
radio
the
voice.
smooth groove. Not the smooth groove with the radio
Not the
voice,
not the
bruh.
what is it called? The oh gosh, the slow jams, the quiet storm.
Quiet storm.
It's Monday morning, and listen, if your weather isn't great, that's okay because you yourself can smile and become the sun rays that the world needs. You got to hit them with a little, a little bit. No, I'm here, Millie. You know,
All right. So
Let's
I
get
guess
those tweets
we
going out, guys.
we about to get on. We about to get
What's
started.
that link at the
Hey,
top?
Angelica.
Apps,
Good
Apple.
morning. ¿Qué pasa?
Anybody know what that link is at the top?
It should be the
Apps,
radio
Apple.
link.
Can you see it? That's what I was about to ask. When somebody click
It
the link, make sure they get
it says appsapple.com.
click it and see what comes up for me, please.
It's correct, Amelie. I got.
Kelly, did you click it? Kimmy, you
Oh,
clicked it and it has a radio, right?
it takes you
You
to the
might need
app.
to put
It
it
takes you to
put
the
it in
link.
a you might need to put it into a tiny URL so that way it displays the open graph.
It doesn't take you
I
to the
did it
station. It takes
yesterday.
you to the app store. Is where it takes you to download
Yes.
it.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and yeah, it should take you to the app so you can download
yeah,
the
if you
app.
don't have it, it takes it after. If you have it, it goes right to the. It starts right up.
So should I take it off and do it again? No, no, no. It's something is not right. Hold up. Cancel. Because the last time I put it, the symbol was up.
Yeah, Saturday it was showing the actual station, so it looked more identifiable. This just looks like you're sending somebody to the Apple store.
Oh yeah, so you did it wrong.
So I did the same thing you sent me from last week. Like I did this.
Copy it.
I copied it.
You're supposed to do that.
Let me go back and see. Yeah, y'all, this is the kind of stuff we're gonna be trying to figure out. Pin link. Okay, there it is. Y'all see it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it.
Because that's how it was last time. I don't know.
Hey Joyce, can you
All
hear
right,
me?
we good to
Yep.
go.
Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you loud and clear. Okay, great,
Oh,
great, great.
good. 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 Test.
All right, good morning, Angelica, morning, Domino. Hey, y'all, want to give it a few minutes? Music is still playing on the app on the station, so we waiting for people to come in, or what we gonna do? It's kind of weird. It's kind of slow today.
That's okay.
It,
We can get to pinging,
I
you know.
I think people probably we didn't open on time, so they think it's not existing today. Because I know I be opening stuff first.
Yeah.
That could have been it. All right, well we
Did
can get ready.
anybody hear from Danny?
Let me call her on my other phone.
No, we not finna do that. We didn't hear from her.
Never mind.
Um,
You might want to let people know as well that we're not going to be bringing people up. That's also probably important.
okay. Hey, well, I spoke to Domino. So, Angelica, good morning. Thank you for coming in. We are going live on HUR South Florida. So we have a new format for the ARN, the Audio Room News today, where we have our guests in the audience. And as we go through the segments, we'll bring you up to have conversation with the, you talking to me? Oh, with the whoever's presenting. Appreciate you for coming through. This is our first day. Well, technically, our first official day on the radio station. Please click the link on the top to download the app. So even if you can't stay in the room, you can listen to us give the news. So I'm going to plug this in, get on the radio, and get started. Okay. Daddy Suave, good morning. Thank you for tapping in. Suave, go ahead and tap that link on the top. Get the app if you didn't do it already last week, so you can listen to the radio. Hey, HG, we're gonna start off just kind of like following. I'm gonna try to go by memory, which is probably not the best idea, but try to follow the link that I put in here, the format. And we are going to get the help from Rich Black to throw in some ads in there. So I'm going to have to give this to him. I don't know how to say this to you. I need to get.
Audio ad?
Huh?
The audio?
Well, I don't have it yet. But I need you to like fill in spots. But you need to know what spots you got to fill in.
Tell them when to play the commercials.
Okay. And then what else? So yeah, we going to get a little nervous. So let's just go with it. See what happens. I need to put this on.
Just plug them in. You plug them in?
I'm not plugged in yet.
Don't plug them in. Yeah, plug them in.
I'm not plugged nobody in yet.
It's on mute. Please.
All right, y'all, you plugged in. Y'all ready? What's up?
No. After this
Yes,
song,
I am a
we're
bit.
going to go live.
All right, y'all can hear the song, right?
They can't hear
Yes,
Oh, they might not be able to.
yes, I can hear it.
So we're supposed to have morning motivation, which we don't have now, because Daddy's not here. But guess what? We will adjust as we go along. So we just gonna go right into it. AG, I'm gonna open up and I'm just gonna turn it to you.
That little fine but her breakfast.
you. You're going to speak first.
Yeah, I'm gonna speak first.
And you tell them who you're going to speak. Otherwise, after you decide, you want to live. You don't say whatever you want to say. Introduce the room. Welcome to the
I'm pretty like I'm not on the radio. I'm gonna read from my script. Oh, you know what? I need you to clip a milli to start off. I forgot. I have it written down, bruh. So we know how to do that.
Nope.
Hey, it's written down, but hey, this was all AG's idea last minute. So I am so nervous.
There's absolutely
Don't
nothing
be.
to be
We've been
nervous
doing
about.
this for 2 months, guys. Come on, we got this. Be professional. Let's do this. Let's
Yeah,
show them
Like
who
when you
we
did it
are and what
Saturday,
we
I
do.
didn't know. So I wasn't nervous. I was just chilling.
we're gonna do this for real. Like this is going to blow everybody away.
I forget there's a mic and shit I gotta be on. You
Good
good?
morning, Daddy Suave, and all the members in the audience. Thank you for coming to the audio newsroom.
All right. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to ARN live from Fanbase on HUR South Florida. How is everybody doing today?
Good,
We
good,
good.
good.
We
We're
good.
Yes.
great. We're great.
That's
Good.
what's up.
Hello.
That's
Good
what's up.
morning. Good morning.
I thought that was a rhetorical question for a moment.
What'd you say, Techie? Well, listen, man, we got the whole crew right here on Fanbase live from HUR South Florida. We in the audio room news, ARN. We're about to bring you guys the top stories from weather to sports and everything in between. We got AG who's gonna do this with me. We're gonna chop it up a little bit. Cali Girl blog with
With the
the
news and the highlights on the go.
the news and the highlights on the go. We got Techie with Techie Time, Joyce with the weather, Kimmy with travel, and JK and AG with the sports. Y'all just stay tuned, and we're gonna bring you all the news. And guess what? We are going to have we are having the first interactive news broadcast live from an audio room and fan base on HUR South Florida. All right, AG, what's going on? How you feeling about this today?
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful. Nah, Millie, listen. It's a
Hey.
beautiful day. We having a blast. We're about to have some fun. Super excited about this. I'm sure everyone else is, and I hope everyone that can hear my voice is having a very blessed Monday morning. Hopefully, you're a great weekend, and hope you're ready to tune in and get some really late and breaking news from the one and only Audio Room News coming to you live.
That's what AG. So AG, what you did this morning? You did your workout already? Cause I'm gonna need all that workout energy that you be giving me.
I did. Today was a great workout, great cardio, and then finished it off sitting in the sauna for 20 minutes. It's always a great way to finish a good workout.
Okay, that's what's up. That's up, y'all. We are in for an awesome show today. But we're gonna go ahead and get started right away with Joyce, Miss Joyce POS with the weather. Joyce, what's going on?
Hey,
What's the
Millie,
weather
Millie.
like where you at?
It is cold. Thanks for that, Millie. Well, again, this is Joyce, aka Joyce's POS. We are in Lincoln, Nebraska, reporting the news live. It is cold. It's 48 degrees currently, mostly cloudy. We do have winds of about 14 miles per hour. They're headed east southeast. We expect the high of 59, the
I'm
low
muted.
of
Okay, you can
40.
mute me so I can talk with you once they're talking. Okay. All right.
Keep going,
Moving
Joyce.
on, we do have a fire weather watch. This weather watch is to be effective until April 4th at 8 p.m. Central Time. Moving on to ATL, Atlanta. Currently 61 degrees, mostly cloudy. 67 for the high, 55 for the low. Miami, Millie, 76 currently, mostly clear. 86 for the high, 73 for the low. Chicago, currently 47, partly cloudy. We do have winds expected to be 5 miles per hour headed southeast, 51 for the high, 41 for the low. Los Angeles, currently 54, mostly cloudy, 64 for the high, 51 for the low. And moving on, there is a weather wind advisory that is expected to go until April 4th, 5 a.m. Pacific time. Louisiana, currently 71, mostly cloudy, winds of about 11 miles per hour, headed south southwest, 87 for the high, 68 for the low. The last but not least, Ghana. That's my homeland, y'all. Mostly cloudy, 85 currently, winds 10 miles per hour, headed south southwest, 85 for the high, 78 for the low. That's all I got for you. Have a blessed day, and I'll turn it back to you, Millie.
Thank you so much, Joyce, for that. Joyce, you just gonna claim Ghana as your hometown, huh? Because the
Yeah,
weather's nice
my
there all the time. Is that
Listen,
what we doing?
all she
yep,
saw was
yep,
pictures online and said, "That's where I'm from, right there."
that's my family, man.
That's
That's
my
my
people.
roots.
Hey, that's crazy. But listen here, y'all. Thank you so much for that, Joyce. Listen, if it's cold where you are, we send you some sunshine from the Sunshine State. We on HUR South Florida, so y'all know what it is. If it's too cold for you, bundle up. If not, take a trip to Miami. And with that being said, I could just turn you right over to Kimmy. She can tell you about all the great travel deals that's coming. So y'all want to come tap in with us as HUR in South Florida? Let us know. We're gonna have y'all on the radio. So come on through. Kimmy, what's going on with travel?
Hey, 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 good morning, fan base. Travel with
After
Kimmy
her.
Kim coming to you with some travel news. And what I have today is, let me see, hold on one second. FAA expects summer travel delays in Northeast due to increased traffic. Staffing shortages. New York, the FAA administration is sounding the alarm of what could be a difficult travel period in the Northeast, with passenger traffic to be expected to increase over the summer while the agency is still reeling from the pandemic related staffing issues. A recently released notice warned airlines that staffing shortages in the New York Terminal Radar Approach Control Facility could have a regional impact and affect flights into and out of the Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport, JFK International Airport, LaGuardia Airport, and Newark Liberty International. The FAA is concerned about the travel period from just after spring break through Labor Day and has asked airlines to voluntarily give up upwards of 10% of their allotted air traffic slots. Let's see here. So, lastly, we have to ensure the safety and smooth operations. The agency Air Traffic Organization had a productive meeting today with airlines, general aviation representatives and associations, and the National Air Traffic Controllers Association to discuss ways to minimize the impact to passengers. And that's all I have. Going back to you, Amelie. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that. Those are some very great travel tips and sharing that. I would say, what can you share just one quick thing with us because travel is such a. Oh, we actually have Millie back. Hey, Millie, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Hey, thank you so much. Thank you for that, AD. Thank you, Kimmy. I just want to go ahead and welcome everybody who's coming into the audio room. We on Fanbase, y'all. If you do not have the Fanbase app, download it and come and see what the buzz is all about. We got Rico, we got Bond Real, Domino, what's up? Welcome to the room. Hey, Kimmy, thank you so much for that. I thought you was going to give us some special deals for those cool people out where Joyce at so they can take a trip to Miami. But we appreciate all that good news, y'all. AG, what were you saying?
Well, listen. She can get you a trip to the weather, but if you're cold, she can't change that. But no, what we were saying was, travel is such a very interesting thing. I was going to ask, Kim, what's been one of her best traveling experiences?
One of my best travel experiences, I will have to say, when I was a little stinker, my school had took us to Hawaii. So I love it there, and I haven't been back, but that's on my bucket list in a few.
All right, that's what's up. Now everybody get up their bucket list and hit Kimmy. Listen, right now we are going to go straight to some commercials. You know, we got to talk to the people that will pay us and that's paid us, so we can tap right into that. Okay, we are live from the ARN on fan base, broadcasting live on HUR South Florida. All right, y'all, tap in, tap in. All right, y'all. So right now, we are not going live because we're running some commercials right now. But y'all can talk to me so we can figure out how we go forward.
Great job so far.
Check it real quick, sweetheart. We can't do that mic thing because she can't see. So if you have something to say, you have to ask.
What mic thing?
You can't blink your mic like we.
Oh, no, no, no. I was just trying to get a word in edgewise and I wasn't able to, so that was the blink.
My melanin. My melanin, what's up? So listen, if you guys have the app open, you're gonna hear everything that's going on, the commercials and stuff right now. What's up, JK? I mean AG, what's up?
No, I was gonna say I muted you only because we could hear you in the background. So I didn't want everybody hearing what you all were saying, just to give you a heads up on that.
Okay. Oh, because I was wondering who muted.
Yeah, because we could hear everything he was saying. I could hear everything he was saying behind you, so I didn't want it to pick up on the radio. So that's why, just as a heads up.
Okay, so we are gonna have to get a different piece of equipment because we're gonna have to get the iris because if you mute me, y'all can't be heard in the radio at all. I thought that's what happened last time. We couldn't hear.
Also, Millie, when your mic is open while we were speaking, it kind of distorted the audio a little bit.
Yeah, you can
Yeah, but
hear.
I'm going on mute. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
How did
All
I
right.
sound?
So
You sounded fine while she was on mute, but while she was off mute, it was kind of right. You can hear her background mixed with you. Yeah, that kind of threw me off because I could hear. That's why I kind of paused a little bit because I could.
okay. So remember last time when I muted here, we couldn't hear the radio.
They muted you. They muted. So you couldn't speak. They couldn't hear you no more.
Okay.
Right? That's good. So that's good. That's good.
Okay, let's try that again to make sure.
Because everybody on the radio still heard. They're still talking on fan base. They just muted you on your mic.
Okay. All right, we're gonna try it again because last week when we did it, it didn't work that way. So we're gonna definitely try it again. You know what? Danny's here. Let me just bring her up. Danny, hey, love. You okay? Everything okay?
Yeah, everything's great. Good morning, beautiful people.
Good morning. So Danny, you know we gotta be here on time, sweetheart. You missed the motivation.
No, I thought you said 10 o'clock. 10 to
No.
11.
I thought so too. Danny, I thought so too. I did too. I did too. I was just lucky I happened to see you.
I don't know where anybody got that from. It's okay, no worries. We're gonna figure it out.
We had that discussion and that's private. Yeah, no one told me. I don't think everybody else had it.
Okay, no worries.
Okay. Because I was
No worries. So everybody, I just want everybody to make sure they check the wire, the time, the breakdown is on there. It's okay. It's not a big. No. My apologies. Sorry, it's spinning around, y'all. We can't do that.
Mr. Roscoe doing a statement?
No, Roscoe. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, I was talking to her. Who kicked her to the?
Sorry. No, I did. I thought because we're on the radio.
Yeah, we're not on right now. That's why I
Oh,
said
okay.
I'm talking to her.
Okay.
It's okay. Roscoe, my bad. Because we're on the radio, everybody's gonna be in the audience. So I just want to let you know. But thank you for coming through. I appreciate you. So we put you back in the basement. I hate saying the basement. Y'all know how I feel about that. Hey, Sunshine. Hey, Patrick. What's going on? We about to get back into it. So I'm gonna plug everybody right back in the radio, and we're gonna go right back into
start talking. In particular, for my people who have a perception, and I won't call her or a couple of hers out who are up here on the stage, but I know that there are some people on this stage in particular, and actually one guy too as well, who I've talked to personally, where they say that they see themselves as, you know, trying to get there, almost there, not quite where I want to be. But the perception of them from the outside is that they are very much accomplished. So I'm curious, even with them, how you lean into maybe the thing that you don't even think you are, but that other people see you as. So I'll start, I'll go, whoever wants to jump in first. Isaac, I'd love to hear your opinion on, the brand of you or the brand of fan base at this point from the outside and, from yourself, but anybody is free to jump in on this. So I'll shut up and let somebody rock out.
Shit. I'll say this with regards to who I am and how I'm seen. Like for me, I definitely look at myself as a person who um, has always been trying to do something. Like, I've helped people do their thing and now I'm trying to do my own thing. But with regards to the way I'm seen by my peers and the people who know me and are closest to me, they see me as, an explorer, as a person that's like, like, oh, you reinvented yourself several times. Like, you were doing music, now you're doing film TV, you were doing this, you were doing that. So they see, every time I think I'm crashing and burning and starting over from scratch and, rebuilding myself and rebranding myself, they just see it as something normal, like something that I do. It's like, oh yeah, we've been doing music the whole time, but look at you, you've done 3 or 4 things since then. So that's been the difference. I'll speak for myself personally. That's been the difference for my brand.
So what's the brand then, Gary? Is the brand what you think or what they think?
Um, I would say a little bit of both. You know what I'm saying? Because the perception that I have of myself, like I'm always trying to push it forward and elevate and evolve. But they're not wrong either. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not exactly where I want to be, but they're not wrong. Like I
maybe I can explain it in a way that will allow everybody to, almost everything that everyone said was true, right? But this is what a brand is. So a lot of people, when they think about branding, they think about their logo. You know, your logo is a part of your brand. But this is what a brand is. It is very important. You might want to write this down. Not that I'm trying to be a professor here, but you might want to write this down because it's going to take almost everything that everyone has said and bring it into context. And really, it'll show you that you can make anyone believe anything about you that you want, which is what branding actually is. So this is what a brand is. A brand is the aggregation and interpretation of every interaction. You know what aggregation means. You know what interpretation means. So your brand is basically the composite of a person's interactions with you. People's brain actually add it all up and they keep coming up with an answer. Now, the way you control that comes down to a couple of things that you learn in like advanced marketing classes. Number one is what's called touch point management. And yeah, you are a touch point and your logo is a touch point. And then also you're going to marry that to what's called like client or customer or whatever experience management. So if I control every interaction with you, all you have to add up is what I've given you. So this is why people look for consistency in brands. And the people who were talking about wishy-washy, it's simply because a person can't add you up. And it's the worst thing you can do in branding of all. So if you change your brand, then you have to know that I have to increase my interactions. And that new interaction needs to be consistently of what I want my new brand to be. Because it really is a matter of mental numbers, you know, if you guys get that. So aggregation and interpretation of every interaction, whether that interaction is online, because somebody said that they listen to you on fan base 2 or 3 times. Well, that's all they know. And so they have a perception of you from those 3 interactions. You can either build on that or you can ruin that. And basically, you know, that's when you approach branding from that type of scientific method, then you really can control everything. Especially, you guys should start to like, you know, look up what's called touch point management, because like if you've been to my showroom and things like that, if you like went to one of my marketing classes or something like that, everything I do starts to make sense. So, you know, hopefully that made some sense. So that's no, that made all the sense in the world.
Definitely.
Yeah, that made great sense. It's funny because you know, when I was at the funeral on Saturday, somebody I wasn't even familiar with, he was like, "Yeah, man, you know, I listen to you every Monday on Fanbase," and I laughed because the person I am on Fanbase is definitely part of who I am, right? I love marketing, I love talking about it, I love kind of these interactions. But if you follow me on Twitter, I'm probably a completely different person to you. There's a lot more jokes, it's a lot more sarcasm, it's a lot more, you know, more entertainment value than anything, because I'm really just, you know, I'm just observant in a lot of spaces, you know, especially with Twitter. So it's me being more hot takey, more, you know, like I said, more jokey, more hot takey,
You have
more
opinions.
sarcasm.
You have opinions on
Yeah,
Twitter.
on Twitter. But here, it's very much more centered, it's much more grounded, it's much more inquisitive. And if you only interact with me on Monday mornings, I think you know, your interpretation of who Nick Love is or what the brand of Nick Love is one thing. But if you know me, it's something else. If you only follow me on Twitter, it's something else. But I like what he said. It's the consistent interaction with that thing that helps build that branding. That's 100% on the nail. But also, it's still the aggregation. The fact that you are great at each one of those things is why people continue to follow you more. You see what I mean? It's not like you're great on Monday morning, but you're bad on Twitter and you're over here. So you're consistently excellent at whatever you do. So that's enhancing your overall brand. So your brand is basically this is a brilliant guy who has range, and these are the spaces that he interacts in. You see what I mean? People's brains kind of look like that. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm with it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, sure. Appreciate it. So who else we got up here, Gary?
Hey, Gary. Oh, no, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hey, Keish.
Hey, how are you? Just really quick, one thing that Mr. Derek said. Hello, Mr. Derek. I'm a firm believer in, and I always tell people there's like 3 points. You know, you have your product, you have your brand, and then you have what you do in marketing. And sometimes I would say, and Nick has heard me say this before, your brand is who you are, marketing is how you tell them, right? But your brand is a huge, huge representation of your product, how you represent your product, right? Like how you put that out there. And it's that consistency, like he says, that you put out there that lets people know what your, like, where your value proposition is and how you are that economic product for the product that you're pushing, right? So I don't, like, if you guys ever read Business Made Simple, I think I've mentioned that book before. It's a very, very, very strong book, and you guys, if you're really pushing your brand or pushing the product that you are, it's a very, very strong book to read to help you to better understand it, especially with what Mr. Derek is saying. But definitely, you got to remember those points: what the product is, what you're branding, and how you branding it, and then how you're marketing it. It all trends.
Really quickly, if I could add to what Keisha is saying, and you know, as somebody who has transitioned from, you know, the music business into the graphics-oriented business and some other businesses, I think it comes down to a three-pronged approach. First of all, the marketing of what you're doing really does take a really strong and professional approach as far as the graphics and your messaging. More importantly, there has to be, as she was saying, a whole lot of value in what you're bringing. So really what I shape to always bring is what I call product superiority. There's always going to be a whole lot of other products in your vertical, but you want to be the one that people go to. In the previous example, there's really only two, Coke and Pepsi. They've established product superiority. And the rest of it comes down to also your public relations. And I'll land my plane on that. Thanks,
Don't
sir.
forget also,
Appreciate it.
and don't forget also that if you have employees, your employee can affect your brand. So that's why those employee manuals and a lot of other stuff is really important. I mean, probably Mr. Derek can attest to that. If he didn't teach his people the way that he wants his company ran, they can bring down his brand. And just like anybody else, I mean, your employees are a strong public representation if they're in the right spot of your brand.
Because you definitely expect a different type of customer service at McDonald's than you do at Chick-fil-A.
True that.
I would also say not even just. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Ladies first.
Okay, I'll just be real quick, but not just employees, but with me, who I collaborate with, says a lot about my brand.
Yes.
So, throughout my journey, I have said a lot of no's to people, even if they're super popular, you know, got hella followers. Like, if your brand doesn't align with my core values, then I have to say.
Come on, man.
Yeah. Do y'all remember the call that we did when what's the bad company? I'm tripping. What's the purses that we
Telfair.
Telfair. Remember when Telfair did the collab with Rainbow, and we had a whole call about that. Oh man, everybody was hot. Everybody was like, oh, it cheapens the brand. It is that association, that affiliation, because of what people's perception of the Telfair brand was and what people's perception of Rainbow was. Even though we broke down the numbers and the facts of what they really were, what they were doing business-wise and revenue and all of that, people's perception of those brands caused a shitstorm, you know what I'm saying, on social media, just based on that alignment. So Bex, you definitely hit on something with that. Definitely. All right, we brought up B. Good morning, B. What would you like to bring to the conversation, my brother?
Hey, what's going on? Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. I was doing well.
Well,
say someone who's transitioned. Now, once upon a time, I was married with no children and ended up being in the military. Got married, 3 children. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, okay. I just hear someone speak. Ended up married with 3 children. Jumped into nursing. Um, Worked my way up in the ranks, became a director of nursing. And through one corporate meeting, I realized that I was not going to make any more difference in the position I was. So staying there would be just for money and not purpose. Ended up starting I sat at the table and I saw all these people waste money, waste food, and not care about lives. And I said, I will not spend another time away from my children making someone else rich enough to spend time with their children. So I started a company with my children. Started Be Clear H2O. And I won't get into how it all came about, but this is my first time in entrepreneurship. And I realized how serious, how much I didn't know, but I had the drive and the purpose and drive passion to help folks.
No, I said that on the call.
Isaac needs to go on mute.
Hey, Isaac, mute your phone. There you go.
Go ahead, B.
And what that did was that no doubt, no problem. But that helped me actually build my brand on who I was, and I think that everything along the way helps when I got into entrepreneurship create that brand. I'm a father. I'm a registered nurse. I've had 20 plus years in community service, whether people knew about it or didn't know about it through word of mouth. So when I got on social media, that's who they knew me to be. You know, I was the guy that helped the homeless. I was the guy that, you know, gave information about health and wellness. I was the guy that spoke around at the barbershops trying to help men's health. So then when I had a product, and everything about my product was what people knew about me. You know, he cares about health. So it wasn't far-fetched when he said, okay, he chose this bottle opposed to plastic because it may help the earth. What's the health reasons? Everybody asked me why, because they already had their mindset on what brand or what the brand was because of who I was. So I think in one way, when we live in our authentic self, we start to create a brand, even unbeknownst to our process. But then when we actually create or produce something, that is automatically tied to it, and then it goes into the marketing and so on and so forth, how far we project that. So it was just an honor hearing everything what everybody said. I did take notes, Mr. Derek, so I appreciate you all. But I'll shut up. I've just been learning and writing, and I appreciate just even the moment to speak.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate it.
I'm about to follow you too, B. I liked your story. That was dope. So, well, I appreciate it. Follow you, for sure. And one thing I do, the last thing, I'm sorry. The one thing I do want to say is, even though we talk about creating a brand and who we are and what we want people to see about us, when I used to start, I used to always say, oh, I was the poor little kid who went to jail, was, you know, around the wrong streets and so on and so forth. But nobody has to. I mean, you create who you are. Sometimes, like we says, everything that I project now, it saturates everything that I was. And everything I was is not who I am today or who I will be in the future. And so we don't have to give those type of stories. We don't have to, you know, give the whole story when we tell a story.
Yeah.
Our story starts from when we decide this the origin, the point of, you know, how we're going to be seen for the rest of our lives. So
yeah, pretty much. When you are the brand, you are who you say you are. So
yes, sir.
Definitely. All right, thank you, my brother. JR, welcome to the stage. What would you like to add to the conversation?
Yo, good morning, fellas. I love what everyone said. There was a young lady that spoke earlier, I believe Natasha, and I resonated very heavily with her message because when you're out bootstrapping, you do play every role, and in doing so, you become subconsciously the face of the business, like you are the brand. So when you're on these social media networks, like you represent that thing that you're trying to sell to people, so every interaction counts. And I just kind of like I carry myself to that standard. Even when entering certain rooms, I have to stay conscious. Yeah, probably don't want to be talking about big booty girls right now because I'm representing the brand.
Definitely.
Right. So it's just I resonate heavily with what she said. And Mr. Derek hit all the points. It's like you have to hold your business to a standard. And sometimes in our culture, that work is very tricky. But having a standard sets you apart from everyone else as well, and it allows people to identify you in a way where it's like, okay, you know what? I know what quality of service I get when I go to this particular business. So yeah, I love all of that.
Hey, appreciate you, bro. And he said something key. And again, I hate, like, I actually love this part of it. But I can harken back to a call that we did sometime last year, maybe the year before, where we talked about that your social media, you know, who you are on social media a lot of times is who people perceive you to be. And remember, we did this call where and people would say, "Oh man, that's just Twitter. I just be on there fooling. I just be saying crazy stuff and posting crazy stuff on Instagram. I just be tripping." And I'm like, yeah, but people are perceiving who you are based on that joke you told, or that story you shared, or that picture you posted, and you might think, oh, it's just social media, but you know, even going back to what Mr. Derek said, it's it's the aggregation and the culmination of all the things that you put out. And so when you put out enough crazy stuff, wild stuff, or things that people may deem as crazy or wild, when it's time to interact with you in a different setting, that's the perception they have of you. And that is your brand, whether you tried to do it or not. You know, like, I'm very conscious of that, because when I'm out, it don't fail. I run into somebody that says, yeah, man, you know, I follow you on Twitter, man, you're so funny. Or, yeah, I listen to you on Monday. And I'm like, oh, shoot, like, glad I didn't say anything, you know what I'm saying? Crazy. Or nothing kind of out of pocket, because, you know, I move around enough to where, especially by myself, too. So when I move around, I'm liable to see somebody I said something crazy about, or left of center about. So I'm very mindful even when I'm pissed. You know how quick, we're all like, something pisses us off, and we be like, man, I was about to beat their ass. I was about to do this. I would have did this. I would have done that. I don't play like that, and not because I'm some scary dude. It's because when I tell somebody, man, I was about to whoop Isaac, said X Y Z to me, I was about to smack Isaac. I'm about to see Isaac tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll run into Keisha tomorrow. I'll end up in a meeting with Natasha tomorrow, and that thing I said online or that thing I posted is now out there. And I don't think enough people really give that real credibility, or lend that, the real weight that it actually deserves. So, and again, it's all a part of your brand and who you are and what you put out there.
They don't give that enough credence. Because I was going to say, that call that you talked about is what made me change what I was posting on.
I remember.
You used to go hard in Hollywood.
I was going real hard. Like, I was letting people have it. Like, to me, I was, and not like argumentative or anything like that. I wasn't doing that. I was just wild. But I thought it was fun. I was like, I'm just having fun, man. I be having like so many crazy thoughts, and I think it's funny to share it with people. But then I was like, I don't want to be perceived like that, because people really would see me when I in different states and stuff when I perform. They're like, oh, like, we want you to be the crazy guy online, and I was like, actually, I'm an introvert and I like myself. And that was really that. I promise you, I really met a lot of people like that. They were really confused, because they was like, yeah, we want you to, like, basically put on the show for us, like, make us laugh and tell jokes and say crazy shit. I was like, I'm actually not gonna do that. I'm actually gonna sit down, like, and read, like, what they and so yeah, but I did want to be taken more seriously in business, because I do know what the fuck I'm talking about when I'm talking. So I wanted to.
That's right.
I did. I shaved back and took that seriously, because I do, like Mr. Derry said, I did come to the realization, thanks to you all, that, like, you actually can control to a certain degree, and probably more than you would want to admit, because it's hard work. But you can't control how you are perceived if you are 100% control it. 100% you can control it. Yes, definitely. You have to be clear and intentional about what you stand for. And I came up with 3 things: music, performance, networking, and marketing. That's what I want to be known for, so that's mostly what I talk about.
There you go.
What'd you have, Natasha, before we get back to these last
was it Beck? I think it was Beck. So somebody was saying something.
One of you ladies?
Okay, go ahead.
No, I would have to make a business decision, and I was like, dang, I really don't. If I was to make this decision and I was a man, nobody would really trip. But because I'm a woman and I have to make this decision, everybody's gonna look at me crazy. And so the guy asked me, he was like, well, what do people know you for? And he was like, do they know you for being results driven? Because whenever you make a decision, they won't think of it from an emotional state. They will look at it from, oh, she's results driven. I completely understand why she made that decision. So again, it's just about, like he said, the perception is definitely controllable, and it's like, what have you been consistently showing up? Even though you may be doing a billion things, what are you consistently showing up and doing? What is that undertone? And so I'm like, yeah, everybody know I'm results driven. If I'm doing something, I'm all the way in, and I'm gonna make it happen. So I hope that sets somebody free too.
For sure. Hey Gary, I know we got three people up here on the stage. I definitely want to get them on before we get off this call. So I want to know. I don't know which order they came up in, but I'll let you take care of that.
Let me just say one
Oh, go ahead.
thing before we get off. Because this is a room full of black entrepreneurs. Okay, when I talked about that whole aggregation and interpretation, see, your brand doesn't just come from you as black entrepreneurs. We have to remember that the already out, you're hurting yourself, your brand, the community, the whole deal. So I mean, we really have more to come at. That's why this whole excellence thing, groups like this, we have to lead it, but we have to make sure that other people in the community kind of like understand it, because it's the numbers that you put on the board, but the media is out there putting negative numbers on the board. And so a lot of things that people will say to you or whatever actually comes out of this perception that they get from all the other negative things about us in general. And I think we can't approach a business without keeping that in mind.
Facts. That's what I was talking about earlier when I was, saying about the stereotypes of lawyers and preachers, all that. As black people, y'all, we've talked about this before too. How many times we've overtipped to make up for all black people? Right. How many times we've, how many women who are on this call, how many times y'all have dialed it back so that you didn't become the angry black woman, or you didn't respond, like we do that all the time because we're conscious of the brand of black women, or the brand of black people. So another great point by Mr. Derek. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for bringing that to the table.
Yes, indeed, sir. All right, so
we got Gary. Let's get him in.
All right, so we got Bonduke, Coco Love, and then Duran. Let's keep it short and sweet, people. Good morning, Bonduke. I hope I'm saying your name.
Nah, no worries. It's pronounced Bunduke.
Bonduke.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, one real quick, just appreciate y'all having me up here. Nick, I actually first got introduced to you, which actually leads into the brand aspect of it, through Jay Wise, who runs the Playlist Academy.
Oh, wow.
And you were on a panel speaking to us. And so my first introduction to you was, okay, this man is the business mastermind. So that level of an introduction kind of plays into the aspect of your brand is also how other people perceive and introduce you and then speak about you moving forward. So like all of these different aspects play into it. So like even with that, for example, myself, I'm a hip hop artist and I dropped a song called Thank God. And with that song, I'm not even necessarily a Christian artist or anything like that, but even with that song, like somebody will see me and I might have a drink in my hand. They'll be like, oh snap, you drink? Mr. Thank God is drinking? And so like these different levels of perceptions, like there's certain levels of like assumptions that fall into it as well. And then me myself knowing and understanding that, it's all cool, but so then, as my brand grew, then I launched a clothing brand called Thank God, and then I started helping other people launch their brands and things along that, which led me into diving deeper into marketing, which overall brings me right into this room. So, and just seeing how you've been maneuvering, as well as Isaac, I've seen how he's been maneuvering from starting this app, and then seeing him on the Social Proof podcast really break down the thought process and the knowledge about us owning our own and having our own brands, our own ownership around it. It's just there's a lot of layers that can be added on into this conversation. couple perspectives into it as well. But yeah, I'll definitely keep it short and sweet for y'all. I appreciate y'all having me here up on stage.
Yeah. Thank you, bro. Yeah, I'm following you now too. Appreciate you.
Oh yeah, much love. And did you know you were a mastermind, bro? Is that part of your brand?
Oh yeah, I was very clear on that. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, come on.
Oh my God. All right. Good morning, Coco Love. What would you like to add to the conversation?
Good morning. Hello, everyone. So,
Hey.
what I wanted to add is, I believe, Nick, you asked the question a little bit earlier, and it was in relation to something about has the perception of your brand kind of like affected your brand in some way? And I absolutely experienced that with 27th and Rose. It was my product-based brand. I was making body oils, tea, herbal teas, things like that, still centered around self-care. And what I did not know but learned throughout the process was that people actually thought that I was making mad sales. People would ask me in person and like virtually, oh, like, you know, how's the business going? Like, everything looks so good. Like, I see you, I follow you, and like, I like your photos and stuff that you post and the things you talk about. And I was like, yeah, you know, I'm producing great content, but I'm actually not making the money that you might think that I'm making. Sales were a little bit scarce. And so I thought that I remember really reflecting on that and thinking that it was so interesting that people can like the content you put out, but intentionally choose to maybe not engage with their content, like not leave a comment, not leave a like, right? Intentionally choose to not go and make that purchase because maybe they think that you get enough sales, right? So I've definitely been affected by that, and I just thought that it was really interesting.
So did you lean into they think I'm successful, so I'm gonna act successful or look successful, or what did you do?
I ended up, so I told you my story a little bit ago. I ended up leaning into like, what's really my power? Where am I supposed to be? Because I still felt a little bit like a fish out of water in terms of promoting the products specifically. I really wanted to talk about things that were deeper, more purpose-based. And so that's what I'm leaning into now with the Coco Love brand.
Oh, so you made a little go.
There you go.
I pivoted,
okay.
Yeah.
I love it.
Please support brand. Yeah, please support the brand, buy something. Like, you know, people think you're that successful, tell them, well, please still buy something.
Yeah. Nike is successful too. I bought a lot of sneakers. So, hey.
Yo, let's get that works in performance too. These people be asking me for free tickets because they think that I'm making a lot of money.
Hey, man, tell them.
You can afford it. All right.
Hey, man, they bought Drake tickets and Beyonce tickets. I think she got it.
Right.
All right, so we got one last person. Good morning, Durand. What would you like to add to the conversation?
How's it going, guys? So I was listening, and I wanted to quote something Dr. Flint McLaughlin. He wrote a lot of marketing heuristics, PhD, on this particular subject matter. More focused on marketing than brand, but he mentioned something. He said, value proposition is an argument. Brand is an impression in the form of a conclusion. So the reason I actually agree with this is because when I'm hearing a lot of the people's interpretations of what the brand is, it's really based on someone liking or being connected to what they do. And that's, in my assessment, that's not really what brand is about. Brand extends beyond commercialization. Brand extends beyond what they call in psychology, bias due to over-liking or bias due to disliking. The potential of a person not to take advice from you because they don't like you, or in the reverse, it works the same way. They take too much advice from you because they like you. So those syndromes are at play. When we think about Doritos, for that matter, the impression they leave upon a lot of people is football game, basketball game. You see those chips in a bowl, even if you don't consume them. In fact, a lot of commercials, I don't even see people eat the damn Doritos. So the impression is you have to have these chips, even if you're not going to consume them when you host a party. And then value proposition in the form, the value proposition is an argument. I always ask people, what's the one word value proposition that everybody across your life know you for? Whether people in the hood know you, whether people at Harvard know you, whether people in prison know you, what's the one thing? And quite oftentimes, and I've asked that question here on Fanbase several times, people don't know the answer to that. So when I communicate to people, my value proposition is knowledge. Now, my brand, the impression I leave upon people is, okay, I'm going to be able to learn something from Durand, which I ironically, is an extrapolation of knowledge. So if a person don't know that one thing that everybody's going to know them for, and guess what? Some people don't like me, but they still know that they can learn from me. Some people like me too much, and they still know that they're actually going to learn from me. Whether I'm going to be a business person or not, they're still going to be able to say, well, I don't know what he does, but I know he knows some shit. So that's the one thing I will leave on the room. I will repeat it. Value proposition is an argument. Brand is an impression in the form of a conclusion. And that argument quite often needs to be one word. I'm going on mute.
Hey, I love it, man. Excellent way to end the call.
And Nick, wait, before you end, I want to tell you, your one-word proposition, Nick, in my mind, is activation.
I like that for Nick.
I'll take it.
That's a good one, actually.
That was fire, but I really do want that phrase one more.
Yeah, so I'll repeat it. But before I repeat it, that's what I felt when I met. That's the impression I got, Gary, from Nick when I first came in his rooms. I was like, man, he's activating conversation. So I like that. That's the one word for you. That's the one word for you, Nick. All right. So value proposition is an argument. Brand is an impression in the form of a conclusion, and it came from Dr. Flint McGoughlin. You guys can find him on YouTube. He does a lot of marketing heuristic videos. Super academic-y. So you have to have some time to watch it. It's super academic-y, but it helped me out a lot when I watched it about 8 years ago.
Next word is the matrix. Come on, guys.
That's not me.
That's not me. I didn't do it.
Hey, well, look, that was a great way to end the call. I love this call because there's so many smart people on this call.
Yes.
It's dope to be surrounded by, smart and creative. And I know I say that at the beginning of every call, and I think some of y'all just think that's part of my intro and my spiel, but nah, like this call is that. It's a lot of brilliant people and brilliant minds from different walks of life, from different facets of people I've met personally and not. And that's why I kind of do this call, because when I get off this call, I feel better, feel smarter, feel sharper for having had the conversation for an hour. So I appreciate y'all as always. We'll be back next Monday right here on Fanbase, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Thank everybody on the stage. Thank you to everybody in the audience, and I will see y'all next week.
Oh, yeah. Peace. Post your answers on the Nick Love's picture today.
Yes, please. If you have additional comments and you didn't get on stage, or you wanted to say something, get up under the comments on today's post and talk about what brand means to you and how you feel about whether it's you or others that are defining the brand. Don't forget to follow me, like me, love me. Same for everybody here on stage. And like I said, we'll see y'all next Monday. Peace.
Hello, Meta Babes here with your Domino Entertainment. Is a social media platform for all gamers. We cater to board gamers, cosplayers, collectible card gamers, esports, LARPers, mobile gamers, miniature gamers, tabletop gamers, video gamers, and now the online domino gamer, and so many more.